Today, we'll dive into the dazzling world of Danish royal sapphires, exploring the stories behind some of the most iconic pieces in the royal collection. From treasured family heirlooms to modern additions, these jewels carry the history and legacy of Denmark's royal family, and I think you'll be surprised by just how much these gems have to tell. So, let's start with a truly royal set. Before we begin, please support my channel by clicking the like and subscribe buttons. Thank you. Most of Denmark's royal sapphires made their way into the family through Queen Alexandrine, the wife of King Christian X. Alexandrine was born a Duchess of Mecklenburg-Schwerin, but her roots stretched far beyond German nobility. Her mother, Grand Duchess Anastasia Mikhailovna of Russia, brought a collection of exquisite jewels from the Romanov dynasty. It is widely believed that some of the sapphires in Alexandrine's collection originally belonged to her mother, linking these dazzling stones directly to Imperial Russia. After Alexandrine's death, these sapphires became part of the Danish royal jewelry collection, eventually passing to her granddaughter, Queen Margrethe II. The sapphire demi-parure, which now belongs to Queen Margrethe II, consists of several key pieces: a necklace, earrings, and a large brooch or pendant. Originally, many of these sapphires were part of a grand corsage ornament worn by Queen Alexandrine, often paired with her diamond fringe tiara. This corsage featured deep blue sapphires surrounded by diamonds, and Alexandrine frequently wore it suspended from a long diamond sautoir. Following Queen Alexandrine's death in 1952, the sapphires were passed down to her eldest son, King Frederick IX, and later became part of a significant gift to his daughter, Crown Princess Margrethe. The first notable gift came in 1958, when Margrethe received the large sapphire pendant for her 18th birthday. This piece, with its marquise-shaped sapphire surrounded by diamonds, quickly became one of Margrethe's most treasured jewels due to its versatility. Queen Margrethe often wore the sapphire pendant attached to various necklaces, including a triple-strand pearl necklace. The combination of pearls and sapphires is particularly striking, as the soft sheen of the pearls enhances the vivid blue of the sapphires. Personally, I find this pairing of pearls and sapphires to be one of the most elegant choices. In 1967, just before her wedding, Margrethe's parents, King Frederick IX and Queen Ingrid, decided to further expand on her sapphire collection by transforming the remaining pieces from Queen Alexandrine's corsage. These sapphires were reworked into a stunning sapphire and diamond demi-parure, which included an adjustable necklace and matching earrings. The design of the necklace allowed for the length to be customized, adding a layer of versatility that Margrethe has continued to embrace throughout her reign. The marquise-shaped pendant from her 18th birthday gift could also be attached to this necklace, giving it yet another dimension of customization. The necklace can be shortened or lengthened by removing or adding sections of sapphire clusters, and Margrethe has been known to wear individual sapphire elements as hairpins. The brooch from the set can also be worn independently or combined with the pendant for a more elaborate look, making this parure one of the most adaptable pieces in the Danish royal collection. Queen Margrethe has worn this sapphire parure to countless important events. Among the most memorable occasions were the wedding of King Harald and Queen Sonja of Norway in 1968, and King Harald's Silver Jubilee. The set also made a remarkable appearance during Queen Elizabeth II's Diamond Jubilee at Buckingham Palace. Over the years, Margrethe has displayed the parure in various configurations, from elaborate full settings to more minimalist versions. One of my favorite ways Queen Margrethe styled her sapphire pendant was when she paired it with a triple-strand pearl necklace during her early years as crown princess. I also prefer the longer version of the necklace that she wore in her youth. It appeared more balanced and stately. What do you think? Queen Alexandrine also had a stunning diamond and sapphire tiara. The story of this tiara begins in 1898, when Tsar Nicholas II and Tsarina Alexandra Feodorovna of Russia presented it as a wedding gift to Princess Alexandrine of Mecklenburg-Schwerin, who was marrying Prince Christian of Denmark. Created by the famed jeweler Bolin, The tiara features 8 oval-cut salon sapphires beautifully set among diamonds. Alexandrine, however, didn't wear it in the traditional tiara form. Instead, she preferred to use its sapphire elements as pendants and brooches. The tiara was later passed down to her daughter-in-law, Princess Caroline Mathilde, in 1933 upon her marriage to Prince Connaught. Caroline Mathilde wore the tiara in its original bandeau style at several royal events. As fashion evolved, she had the piece altered to a more traditional tiara, while still enjoying the option of wearing its sapphires as a necklace. The tiara carried a special personal significance through the generations. Count Ingolf, Caroline Mathilde's son, recalled how his mother often wore the tiara, alternating between using it as a necklace or a tiara. After Caroline Mathilde passed away in 1995, the tiara was inherited by her younger son, Count Christian of Rosenborg, who gave it to his wife, Countess Anne d'Orta, for her 50th birthday. Along with the tiara, he included a note detailing its history, tracing its lineage through both her mother-in-law and grandmother-in-law. In 2018, following the deaths of Count Christian and Countess Anne d'Orta, the tiara was auctioned by their daughters. However, its journey didn't end there. Happily, though, it's still in Copenhagen, on display at the museum at Amalienborg Palace. Queen Margrethe II also treasures the sapphire Fleur-de-lis brooch, an elegant piece with a rich royal history. This brooch, crafted from diamonds and cabochon sapphires, is an heirloom that has been passed down through at least 3 generations of Danish royalty. It was previously worn by Queen Ingrid, the mother of Queen Margrethe II, and is now predominantly seen on Queen Margrethe herself. The brooch, as its name suggests, is shaped in the classic fleur-de-lis design, a motif traditionally associated with French royalty. This design also holds a personal connection to Margrethe's late husband, Prince Henrik, who was of French descent. Over the years, Margrethe has worn this brooch at numerous important occasions, often pairing it with solid colors to highlight the brooch's striking combination of deep blue sapphires and bright diamonds. One of the most versatile pieces in her collection, the brooch has been worn for both formal and day events. Notably, Margrethe used the brooch as an ornament on a pearl necklace at the wedding of her nephew, Prince Nikolaos of Greece and Denmark, in 2010. One of Margrethe's more recent appearances in the brooch came in April 2015, when she wore it for the Sibelius Nielsen Festival in Stockholm. Given the deep familial and historical significance of the brooch, it could also be passed down or loaned to Princess Marie, who, like Prince Henrik, has French roots, continuing its legacy within the Danish royal family. The Connaught sapphire brooch is another historically significant piece in the Danish royal family. This exquisite brooch features a large, faceted sapphire surrounded by diamonds, with pearl swags and a floral diamond and pearl drop suspended from the main element. The brooch's story begins with Princess Louise Margaret of Prussia, who received it as a wedding gift when she married Prince Arthur, Duke of Connaught, the 3rd son of Queen Victoria, in 1879. At the time, it was described as a breastpin with a sapphire set in diamonds. The Duchess of Connaught passed it down to her daughter, Princess Margaret of Connaught, who later became Crown Princess of Sweden. Margaret likely added the distinctive pearl swags to the brooch. After Princess Margaret's death in 1920, the brooch was inherited by her daughter, Queen Ingrid of Denmark. Ingrid reserved the brooch for special family occasions, including the engagement announcements of her daughters, Queen Margrethe II of Denmark and Queen Anne Marie of Greece. One notable appearance of the brooch was at the christening of Queen Margrethe's grandson, Prince Nikolai, in 1999. In 2006, Queen Margrethe gifted the brooch to her daughter-in-law, Mary, now Queen of Denmark, to mark the birth of her first son, Prince Christian. Queen Mary first wore the brooch at Christian's christening and has continued to wear it sparingly at important family events, including the christenings of her twins, Prince Vincent and Princess Josephine, in 2011. Queen Mary has remarked on the historical importance of the brooch. It shows how the families have married through the generations, and it doesn't only talk about lineage, but it also relates to personal events in families. Another beautiful sapphire jewel in the Danish collection is Queen Alexandrine's sapphire and diamond pendant brooch. This versatile piece, which can be worn both as a brooch and a pendant, dates back to the early 20th century and was first seen on Alexandrine in a portrait from that era. The brooch features a central diamond cluster encircled by sapphires and diamonds, with a suspended briolette diamond drop adding a touch of elegance. It's believed that many of Alexandrine's jewels, including this brooch, were wedding gifts, although the exact origins of the piece are unclear. Unlike some other sapphire pieces from Alexandrine's collection, such as the Russian sapphire tiara that was sold at auction, this brooch stayed in the family. After Alexandrine's death in 1950, the brooch was inherited by her daughter-in-law, Queen Ingrid, who often wore it for important state visits, such as her trips to France in 1965 and Ethiopia in 1970. Upon Ingrid's passing in 2000, Queen Margrethe inherited the brooch. Margrethe often suspending it from a simple metal chain rather than a more elaborate diamond riviere necklace, as her mother had done. In recent years, it appears that Margrethe has passed this jewel to Princess Marie, likely to mark the birth of her son, Prince Henrik, in 2009. Marie first wore the pendant at the New Year's court in 2010 and has since regularly donned the brooch at gala events. And speaking of Princess Marie, she recently added another stunning sapphire jewel to her collection. The Nuits-Clairs tiara and a stunning sapphire ring, both created in collaboration with the French jeweler Maison Mauboussin. The Nuits-Clairs tiara is a delicate floral diadem made of white gold, set with 13.35 carats of diamonds and 13.35 carats of sapphires. The focal point of this exquisite piece is a 6.82 carat pear-shaped Ceylon sapphire, reflecting the deep blue of Denmark's summer night skies, which inspired its name, meaning bright nights. The tiara's design, which gently slopes into a Kokoschnik-style frame, elegantly balances modernity with a nod to historical tiara shapes. In addition to the tiara, Princess Marie also received a matching sapphire ring, the Telement Sublime Mon Amour ring, featuring an 8.43 carat cushion-cut sapphire, also from Ceylon. Both jewels were designed specifically for her to debut during the French state visit to Denmark in 2018. Though these pieces were not purchased, they are on a long-term loan to Princess Marie, similar to other royal tiaras in Denmark. One of the most historically significant sapphire pieces in the Danish royal collection is the Flood sapphire brooch. The brooch was made around 1840 and originally belonged to Queen Marie Sophie Frederica, the wife of King Frederick VI of Denmark. Later, her daughter, Duchess Wilhelmine of Glücksborg, inherited the brooch and donated it in 1872 to a charity fund. This fund, called the Collection in Consequence of the Flood, was created to support victims of a destructive flood in the Lolland-Falster area. Sometime after, the brooch was bought back by Queen Louise, the wife of King Christian IX. From there, it was passed down through the royal family, going from Crown Princess Lovisa to Crown Princess Alexandrine, and eventually to Queen Ingrid. It is now kept safely in the Danish royal collection, ensuring its preservation for future generations. To conclude, we come to Princess Thyra's sapphire tiara, a piece that sadly has left the Danish royal family. Princess Thyra's sapphire tiara is a unique and versatile piece of Danish royal jewelry, dating back to the latter half of the 19th century. Likely made by E. Wolfe and Company of London, the tiara features 5 scrolling elements set with cabochon sapphires and diamonds. An interesting feature of the tiara is its adaptability. The sapphires can be swapped out for cabochon turquoises, offering an alternative look for different occasions. The tiara was stored in its original fitted leather case from A. Michelson, a jeweler to the royal Danish court. The tiara was created for Princess Thyra of Denmark, one of the daughters of King Frederick VIII and Queen Louise. Although Princess Thyra never married, she attended numerous royal events, and the tiara became a regular part of her jewelry collection. When Thyra passed away in 1945, she left the tiara to her niece, Princess Caroline Matilda of Denmark, who, despite being hereditary princess for a time, rarely wore it. The tiara gained more prominence in the 1960s when it was passed to Princess Elizabeth of Denmark, Caroline Matilda's daughter. Princess Elizabeth wore the tiara at important family events, including royal weddings, but due to her work in the Danish Ministry of Foreign Affairs, she did not attend many glittering occasions where the tiara might have appeared more frequently. After Princess Elizabeth's death in 2018, the tiara was inherited by her nieces, the Rosenborg Countesses, who decided to sell the tiara at auction. In December 2022, the tiara was sold at Bruun Rasmussen Auction House for 650,000 Danish kroner, around $65,000, to an anonymous buyer. And there you have it, a fascinating journey through some of the most stunning and historically significant sapphire pieces in the Danish royal collection. Which of these jewels captured your imagination the most? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more royal stories. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.